if and when it's a fait accompli that they're going to fire Adam Gase, obviously at some point, a day after firing Greg Williams. We'll wait to see when that official day comes. But you also think there's a lot of experienced coaches out there, a lot of coaches that could reign in this organization that need so much help. But you're saying the retread option is the incorrect option.
Well, so retreads to me are guys that failed, and then you still hiring them.
A third crack.
Like a third crack at it. Or a first crack that miserably failed.
Like
and
Bill
then
O'Brien.
You're still giving him Pat Sherman. You're still giving him another opportunity.
Right.
Like Bill O'Brien.
No, that's not. No, because Bill O'Brien was mildly successful with the Penn State, mildly successful with Houston. He allowed the two-headed thing to get in his way, general manager, head coach. So I wouldn't necessarily call him a retread. Retreads are like a Dick Duran. That's like,
right.
Come on. Like Buffalo, then Chicago. Like, no. A guy that stands out to me, and I said this before in months ago, a guy that's standing on the sidelines that's not a retread because he was a one-stop guy would be a Bill Cowher. Mm-hmm. He successful. He won big in Pittsburgh. He won a Super Bowl. He's been out of the game 15 years, I think. I think that's the number.
It's a long time, man.
It sounds like a long time, right? But I can point to guys like Dick Vermeil. You know, he last stop was the Philadelphia Eagles, and then he went to the Rams and won, then went to Kansas City and tried to turn that around. Or you look at John Gruden. He was out the game 10, 11 years. You know, there are coaches that have done this, and I don't think Bill Cowher is so far removed from society and reality that he's a dinosaur. We're not dealing with a coach that he can't figure it out. Hey, why does that guy have an earring in? What are all these tattoos? He's not, I'm saying he's not so far removed from that. He's still around. You know, he between his home in North Carolina and his residence in the New York State, he's still, he sees it all. He's not oblivious to what's going on. And I think for the Jets, somebody like that would be a home run because you could sell that to the fan base. You could sell Super Bowl winning coach. Bill Parcells, you could sell those sort of things. I remember when we got Bill, I got drafted. They were 2-14. They selected me as the number one guy. The next year, that year we went 1-15. Bill comes from the New England Patriots with the first pick overall to play with. He could draft Peyton Manning. I was already on the team. Some people think that he passed Peyton Manning up to draft me. No, I was already there. So let's get that corrected. And then when you look at the opportunity to draft Peyton Manning, he decided he didn't want Peyton. He wanted to do some other things with the pick. We went from 2-14, 1-15, 9-7 to an AFC Championship game. Wow. So when you start to look at that pedigree with those skins on the wall means something. Yes, we can go for the young, hot Eric Bieniemy types. There's no question about it, and do well with that. But I think, though, just from what the organization probably needs is somebody like that.
If you are going to take Trevor Lawrence, do you want a coach that's been out of the game that long? I'm not saying that he can't do it, and he's more of a defensive-minded coach, or do you want somebody that comes in and offensively works hand in hand with your quarterback to change the dynamic of the system?
One thing I could say, Jay, great coaches know who to hire. It's all about your assistants.
They're the CEO. You're right.
Right? I don't need – just because I'm a defensive-minded coach doesn't mean that I can't get Jay Will to run my offense and put the offensive plays together, and I can peek my head in here and there. The problem with a lot of coaches is they get hired and they try to do too much. They don't know how to delegate. You got to be able to hire the right people. If I'm Joe Douglas, the general manager, I'm going to help you put your staff together. I'm going to help you do that now. I'm not just going to let you come in and start hiring all your homeboys. No, we're going to have some conversations about some of the real innovative guys and the bright minds in the sport to make sure that we build a competent staff that understands the culture that we're trying to create.
Who could be in the mix here for the Jets once this Adam Gase tenure is over?
Look, I mean, you hear a lot of the similar names that you've heard in years past in terms of Eric Bieniemy. I mean, Brian Daboll in Buffalo is put a nice little audition tape together last night. These guys are going to get interviews, if you look at where the Jets are, if they're going to be picking number one, if they're going to be taking Trevor Lawrence, they're probably going to be looking for a coach, that they feel can sort of shepherd Trevor Lawrence into his NFL career. And that probably means an offensive guy, even though it's not the best idea to approach your coaching situation that way. Do we want offense? Do we want defense? You want actually someone who's a leader that can maybe even delegate that responsibility. But look, I mean, there are Jim Harbaugh rumors that bubble up around the Jets. Jim Harbaugh rumors every year this time. We still don't know what he wants to do. He's an interesting guy for NFL teams if he decides he wants to go back into the pros, because his record as an NFL head coach was outstanding. And I think there are people that want to see if he could pull that off again. And then I found it really interesting. Our Jets reporter, Rich Cimini, in his Sunday notebook this week, a couple days ago, raised the possibility that they would pursue Doug Pederson if the Eagles decided to move on from him, or if they could work out a trade. Joe Douglas, the Jets GM, worked with Pederson there in Philadelphia for a couple of years, so there's a connection. So, look, I mean, it's early to know for sure, but the Jets are certainly thinking that way. I think it's fair to assume.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.